Welcome back to the Compressor Guru. Today we're going to talk about Quincy valve covers, and I've got a riddle, a mystery, a conundrum, and this was brought to me by Joe, one of my customers. Nice guy, lives in an adjoining state. I don't want to give too much information, but I want to thank Joe because he is willing to trade me an anomaly for a good used valve cover. So what we're going to do is we're going to open this up. We're going to open this up last. We are going to look at a valve cover. This is either intake or exhaust. If it was intake, it'd have a big round one. If it was intake unloader, it'd have a big round piece for a spanner wrench. And even if I had one here, it wouldn't matter because the service truck's not here, and that's where the tool is to work on those. But I do have an Allen wrench, and I've told you guys many times before, when you're tearing down a Quincy, you take, and this is off of a 325 or a 5120, you break these loose. You back your adjustment out, and I already have this one backed out. As you can see, it is all the way flush to the valve plate. And the reason for that is when you put this together, you put your valve in, you put your copper washer in, you put your valve in, and I should have had all this stuff here, and I'm Bud screwed up. The Guru was depending on Bud, and he didn't have this stuff here. But you put your copper washer in, you put your valve in, you put your spacer plate in, which is actually kind of a hold down. Then you put your gasket on the head, and you put this down, and you torque these 4 bolts down to the spec, whatever the book tells you. Generally, it's just whatever the normal spec is for a grade 8 bolt. And then you take and turn this in till it hits the valve, and then you torque it to spec. Yeah, you get yourself a Allen wrench in a socket, and I want to say these torque to 50 or 60 pounds. So you torque that, click, there went the torque wrench, and it's all set and ready to go. So when you tear them apart, you take your lock nut off, you loosen your valve adjustment, and you do that before you take the valve cover off, because these are so tight and you'll have a hard time hanging on to it. You'll end up in a vise, and you'll end up cussing or worse, cursing at it because you can't get that screw loose, and it's a lot easier when it's bolted onto the machine to get loose. And then going back together, just the procedure I went over here a minute ago. You torque these down, torque that down, you're ready. Now, that makes perfect sense, and that's how this is torqued so that you don't leak, and this is torqued so that the valve is tight, but not too tight. Makes all kinds of sense, don't it? Here's the problem, and Joe sent me this. I haven't opened it yet. I could have, and I thought, you know what? Let's just see what it looks like.
Looks like a box.
It looks like a box. And Joe texted me pictures of this thing.
Are we going to get to see those pictures?
Yeah, yeah. I'm going to put them up. I got them in my phone right now, but he texted me pictures of this. And I told him I have never seen anything like that. Now, this was on a 325 recorded change 1. And I call Quincy. And Quincy never saw anything like this. And this is exactly what he sent me the picture of. So it eliminates this. That's the valve hold down that I said. That's a spacer. And when you tighten that, running that out, when you tighten that down, it pushes down on that and tightens up the valve in the cavity. this is obviously a Quincy part number. It's 1816. And this is a valve cover for a record of change 1. It matches up to that just beautifully. So this sits on top of the valve, and you torque these down. The problem is, not all valves are created equal. And he put this in, and he put his valve in, and he had a gap. As you see in the pictures here, he had a gap. And I'm like, holy crap, I've never seen anything like that. This is one cast and machined piece.
Yeah, so it's just a hole.
It's just a hole. It's solid
Open
at the top.
cavity. Okay.
And
it doesn't adjust or anything.
there is no valve adjustment to this. Now, John in Panama, you know who you are. You watch my videos. John's got tons of compressor experience on screws. He's a very smart guy. We've been emailing each other. I hope he comes back to the States sometime. We're going to have a sit down with him, do a compressor tech talk, so to speak. But I've never seen any Quincy part like this. I called Quincy. Now I've been at this 43 years, and I'm older.
Wow.
Oh, you know what?
What? I thought you were only 40.
Yeah, I am. 29 with a lot of practice. But I've never seen anything like this. And Quincy's telling me this is pre-1950, and I have no idea how they would have adjusted it. I have no idea what the thinking was, because on the same machine they had another valve cover like this. That was on the low pressure side. I think he had this on the high pressure side. I'm actually not sure. But I'm showing the pictures as we go here of what he sent me. But this makes no sense. So here's the conundrum, the riddle, the question, the mystery. No, I don't have a thesaurus. What is another word for
Thesaurus?
Thank you. I knew that word. So, any of you old tech guys, you old compressor tech guys, if you can explain this, contact me through thecompressorguru.com or leave a message in the comments. I really don't understand this. I do not know what Quincy's thinking was, and nobody that is at Quincy now can tell me, because quite frankly, most guys that are working at Quincy's weren't born when this was made. Most guys weren't born, well, a lot of the guys weren't born when I went in this business. So I got a mystery, and I'm looking for help. That being said, yes, dear.
Pick me, pick me.
What?
How long has Quincy been in business?
Well, you asked me something I don't know, but I'm going to put it in the caption right here.
So, if this was pre-1950...
Yes, that's how I understand it.
That's why we don't have them now. Because they obviously didn't work very well.
Record of Change 2 has this type valve cover. This is Record of Change 1, and I couldn't get a parts book for it. Record of Change 2 is this.
There's a reason why we change things.
Yep.
We changed them to make them better. So that wasn't the best fit. Maybe that's all they had. Does that other thing fit in it?
What?
That little piece, yeah.
No, this goes under here. And if you look at that...
Oh, I thought that came out of the same box.
It did. I'm sure he sent it to me because he had two machines. But if we pick that up and hold that even, that's about the same height. But it was too tall, and you can see the picture where it was too tall and the gasket wouldn't even seat.
Well, I've already answered your question. It was old and it didn't work, so they changed it.
And I'm sure it didn't work because they did change it.
This was the compressor guru's wife solving the
real
mystery.
compressor techs. If you know this, please let me know.
Sorry.
So yeah, I know you're sorry. By the way, if you're looking at a new 325, they'll have a bolt a fine threaded bolt, the same thread here, and a lock nut. This is an older version. This is what replaced this. And quite frankly, I don't have one of those valve plates here. I'd get it out just to show you. That's the problem. That's the mystery.
Let's have another question here.
Sure.
Why are those two only that size and this other one is so, why is it a double decker?
Well, this is for a 350 and up. This is for 240s and 325s. They're also bigger. This takes a different size valve, but I wanted to have an example here of the acorn nut that goes on top of the valve adjustment. And I could have just took that acorn nut and went, oh, it goes on there like that. But I wasn't thinking when I was hurrying.
Well, that's okay. I was
hurrying, washing parts, trying to get ready because I have my camera away here for a little while.
Well, I just noticed that they were two different sizes and wondered if it was because they were two different kinds of compressors.
They're for two different machines. These are all Quincy parts.
But all Quincy.
And I'm going to hang this on the wall. I have some bent Ingersoll rods and I have some other anomalies. And I'm just going to hang this on the wall because I may never see one again. I've been doing this 43 years and this is the first one I've ever seen. I'm going to guess it's the last one because by the time they figured out this didn't work, as soon as you had to change a valve, they probably went in the scrap iron container. So, like, subscribe, hit that bell, and if you know the answer to this, comment. If you don't know the answer to it, leave a comment anyway. Thank you. God bless. Have a great day.
Have a great day.